If you could lock in a 4.99% interest rate on a luxury new construction home in North Dallas, would you wait or would you buy today? I'm going to show you exactly why Shaddock buyers are not waiting. Hey everyone, I'm Tiffany Caballero here in North Dallas, your on-the-ground relocation specialist. And today we're diving into one of the most respected, most award-winning, and most Dallas-Fort Worth rooted builders in the entire metroplex, Shaddock Homes. Now, if you're watching this, you probably already know inventory is tight, rates have been unpredictable, and buyers are really looking for a combination of quality, design, and financial advantage. And I usually don't do rate-specific videos, but this one is too good to pass up. Shaddock is offering a 4.99% interest rate on all of their inventory homes for the life of the loan. Guys, this is not just a rate buy down for the first couple of years. And this matters because I'm not sure when we're ever gonna see that low of a rate again anytime soon. So let me set the stage financially just so you get the gravity of why getting a better rate is better than getting money off of a house. If you buy a $500,000 home at a 4.99 versus a 6.25 interest rate, your monthly payment goes down $400 a month. If you buy an $800,000 house at 4.99 instead of 6.25 interest rate, your monthly payment goes down almost $640 a month. And then if you buy $1 million house at a 4.99 versus a 6.25 interest rate, your monthly payment goes down $800 a month. That's almost $10,000 of savings in your first year. So listen up. Here's what most people don't know. Shaddock isn't some national builder that swooped into Texas with a marketing budget and a blueprint. They're North Texas born and bred. Founded in 1967 right here in Dallas by Peter Shaddock Sr. And it's now run by the Shaddock family. So Peter Jr. and Beth Shaddock. So they have very much kept it family owned. 5,000 plus homes built across the metroplex. 16 times best builder winner by D Magazine, and one of the few mid-sized builders that's still really family owned, still local, and still deeply involved in the development, the design, and the community planning. Shaddock doesn't build to meet national quotas. They build to fit DFW lifestyles, our tollways, our school zones, our resale patterns, our energy needs, and the way real families live in North Dallas. Their communities are consistently placed around A+ schools, major tollways, and they're very strong master planned, and then obviously areas with that long-term equity growth. And the reason they've stayed a top builder for nearly 6 decades, because they don't chase trends. They actually focus on craftsmanship, energy efficiency, and a finish level that most builders charge extra for. So here's why you'll hear Shaddock come up again and again amongst serious buyers. First of all, energy efficiency construction that actually reduces monthly bills. It's got an in-house warranty team that answers the phone, included features other builders list as upgrades, and a resale reputation that consistently outperforms the market. So when you choose a Shaddock home, you're not just buying a house, you're buying a DFW builder equity. Now, I already personally toured several of the communities and we'll also talk about some of the others. So instead of giving you theory, I'm showing you the model homes of the inventory available right now with that 4.99% interest rate attached to it. The only catch is you have to close before January 31st. So let's jump into my on-site tours. I'm covering some of the subdivisions in Celina and Frisco, but there are inventory homes in McKinney, Mesquite, Rockwall, Forney, Fate, and there's more. So let's get to our first house. Okay, so our first stop is the Cottages of Celina. I love this neighborhood. It's been around for a little bit. They're still building. And the greatest thing I think about the Cottages of Celina is there's no mud and there's no PID. So if you guys don't know what that is, when neighborhoods develop in cities, the builder can, the developer can add a taxation to help lay the roads, lay the electrical, lay the utilities, like a MUD, a municipal utility district. So I want to show you guys inside because Shaddock has a really great build out and quality. So let's go in our first model. So I'm going to show you guys several of the development, several of the neighborhoods because they're all different pricing. And I will say that you're going to get better pricing here. I'm going to show you the field. Remember, I live in Brookside South and it's just a more expensive place to live because it's going to be next to Fields West. And I've talked to you guys a lot about that area and the explosion of equity that we're going to see in the next 3 to 5 years. But with Shaddock giving this 4.99% interest rate, it's really a game changer. I personally don't think that we're going to get back down into the fours. So if you're moving to Texas and you want a spec and get an inventory price, which is better than any build, then now's the time. And he's giving you enough time, Mr. Shaddock is giving you enough time to get under contract and close this before January 31st. The incentive is for anyone buying to close before January 31st. So you can close today or you can close anytime until then and still get that 4.99% interest rate. Now, you do have to go through their lender. So just know that if you have a lender you love or you have a financial planner or you have a banker that you love, it doesn't count. You have to go through their lender to get that 4.99% interest rate. I would just go to whoever your favorite person is and say, look, I love you, but unless you can give me a 4.99 fixed for the entirety of the loan, I'm gonna have to go with Shaddock's lender. So let's start by just showing you a little bit of this model. Okay, so a lot of times in Shaddock's houses, you're gonna see a secondary bedroom down. It's really important in this whole area, in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, to have a secondary down, specifically for parents. Maybe they can't climb the stairs, or you just want guests not to have to go upstairs. Maybe your kiddos have all their toys up in the game room or the media room and you don't want people to see that. That's why these plans are so cool, because right here, come on over, you've got your secondary down. And this is a really good size room. That's a queen bed. It's got 2 nightstands. It's got a whole dresser. And look at all the space you still have. You've got great natural light. Now, when you see the fixtures, all of those are upgrades. I've told you guys before, in model homes, which is where we're at, they're going to have the most upgrades. So just know that going into it. The inventory that they have is still really, really nice. And then you can add your own personal touches after you close. So this has the bathtub, but a lot of the specs have the walk-in shower, so it's kind of nice. And then of course you've got a huge walk-in closet. And then you also have your half bath so that no one has to go into a bathroom if you don't want them to, which is really nice as well. And then one of Shaddock's, what they're known for is this open living. You know, you've got your dining and all the specs are going to have different floor plans. So you can get with me and I can show you all that are available. But this one's just a really open living concept. And you know, you've got the granite, which the quartz, all of them are gonna come with this type of build out. They're all gonna have gas ranges. They're all gonna have vent hoods. They're gonna have beautiful tile. They're all gonna have really great sinks. They're all gonna have energy efficient appliances, which is really nice. Shaddock is known for being light and bright, and all the windows that they include, and all the windows are energy efficient. So that's one of the things that I really, really love about this builder. Now, a lot of them will have a study, and this one's a dedicated study. If it's not a dedicated study, it will also have a closet, and it might not have these French doors, so that way you could use it for a bedroom or a study, but this one's dedicated. So, and that actually was a closet that they turned into a little nook for their printer and all of that. Now, these lots are smaller, but you know, you're looking at the mid 500, and we could probably even negotiate some of that down. But to get into Celina, I've told you guys on videos before, Celina is booming right now. It's one of the fastest growing cities in the entire nation. And they're saying that Celina is where Frisco was 20 years ago. And the people that got into Frisco 20 years ago, the amount of equity that they're sitting on, literally insane. In fact, I know people that have moved from Frisco to Celina simply to do it all over again, because they got so much equity on the house in Frisco that they took all their equity out, they bought their dream home here, and then they're gonna wait it out as Celina builds up around them, and they have all that equity again. So 2 times in a lifetime to get that type of equity, it's just a really great financial play. So, and you guys, if you're familiar with any of my videos, know that I feel like there's so much more to just buying a house than finding something you think is pretty. There's so many layers. You can look at the finances of it, the long-term, equity of it, the resale value of it. What's the school zone it's in? What's the rating? What's the traffic around here? Is it, like, I have friends that just put their house on the market because a school was built right in front of their subdivision, and now it takes them 15, 20 minutes to even turn out of their subdivision because there's no light there. And so they got really frustrated with that stealing time from them and just the congestion. So those are things you need to look at, and call me because I can help you plan through all of that. Okay, so let's go over here. I'll show you. This right here is their offices, but this is normally gonna be a 2-car garage. And your entry would be over here. I'll show you the backyard. It's not huge, but they actually did something pretty cool out here. One of the things that they did here with the model is they put in an electronic gate. And what that does is it doubles your backyard. So instead of the fence being here and your driveway being on the other side of it, they've enclosed the driveway so that you pull your car in, that closes. And if you have kiddos and they're playing in the yard, everybody's safe and secure. I mean, Frisco was rated the 2nd safest city in the nation by Forbes magazine, and Celina is just the same. So safety-wise, you're safe no matter what. But this just gives you way more playroom, way more, if you want to plant trees or gardens, you just have a lot more space. So I would definitely get an electronic gate if that's something that you want. Come on. Okay, let's go upstairs. Okay, so this is a typical floor plan that Shaddock builds, where you have a really great space for your game room, and then you have a lot of times the split bedrooms. And so over here you've got 2 bedrooms that are gonna share this bathroom, and I'll let you guys take a look. And it's got really great space, and of course it's super cute because the designers did it, but this is a huge bedroom for kiddos. And then you've got your walk-in closet, and then this is a huge bedroom. So, and you've got 2 windows, so lots of natural light. You've got Berber carpet. Okay, so follow me over here, and you've got your laundry room, which you're gonna be doing the majority of your laundry up here with all of your kiddos. So it's great to have that. And so I'm gonna show you the primary bedroom now. King bed, huge nightstands and dresser, and you still have tons of space. So that's one of the coolest things about this layout is it is a smaller lot, but you're not getting tiny, tiny rooms. So I think it's a low maintenance lifestyle. And then huge walk-in closet, soaking tub, standalone shower, and your double vanities. So I just think you've got everything that you need. Okay, so now we're here at the Estates at Rock Hill. We're in Frisco. And there are a couple of things I want to point out to you guys that is Frisco specific versus Celina. Celina, you're going to get more long-term equity, meaning probably 8 to 10 years, you're really gonna see some equity growth. Here in Frisco, it might happen a little bit faster, but Frisco's property taxes is 1.6. It's the lowest in the entire Dallas-Fort Worth metroplex, and Frisco has no mud, no PID. So it's a score in both areas, and the houses are a little bit more expensive, but it kind of weighs itself because if you're at a little over 2% property taxes in Celina and it's got a mud or a PID on top of it, you might weigh itself out in being in Frisco, paying a little bit more for a house, with the lower property taxes. So I'm gonna go in, show you what this Shaddock looks like, and we'll go together, come on. Okay, so now we're inside of the Estates at Rock Hill, and directly at the entrance, you have your office. And I love this. I mean, obviously these are upgrades, but look how big the windows are and just the natural light that you would get if you needed a home office. And I just think that's always better for working. Now, it's got my favorite, the media room on the first floor. And this one's super cozy because they have a great couch and the coloring. Think of yourself and your kids watching movies in here and still being able to interact with any friends or family you have over. They have the secondary down. This doesn't have an ensuite bathroom. An ensuite means it's a private bathroom. The bathroom is over here, which your guests would use as well. But all right, and then of course, Shaddock is really well known for their open family entertainment. And this kitchen's just stunning. You've got your double ovens, you've got your gas stovetop. I just think it's done really well. And the cabinetry is beautiful, the island's huge, you've got your pendant light, and then it flows right into a big dining room table. And then you can't ask for more light in a living room. So you've got perimeter windows, and then of course the windows up there. And you can always get electronic shades, so that if you wanted to close those, you could, but no one's going to be looking in those. So if it was just light that bothered you, you could fix it that really easily. But this is stunning. All right, let's go to the primary. So again, super large space. You could even have a couch over here. You could have little chairs, drink your morning coffee, read your book. It's just a really great space. And then of course, it's got a beautiful primary bathroom. The soaking tub, the standalone shower, and both the dual vanities. You have so much room. And then the closet is equally as big. And one of the greatest things about this closet is it has the door to the laundry. And again, this locks. So you do have privacy, being parents or a parent, but yet super easy access to the utility room. So you've got your sink, you've got your mud, more storage, because remember, they have so much storage in these houses. And that would typically be the garage, but right now it is their office. Oh, and let me show you this. Again, that's the pantry, but yet it goes around the corner, and that's where you would get if we had a tornado warning. All right, now let's go upstairs. Okay, now we're upstairs, and this also has a game room, and it overlooks the living so that it feels more open. Lots of light, very bright. I love window seat. And of course, this built-in is gonna be an upgrade, but it's some really good space. Now upstairs is 3 bedrooms, and these 2 bedrooms on this side, they have a shared bathroom. And so it's not a Jack and Jill, it's just a shared bathroom. And I don't know if you guys know the difference in a Jack and Jill versus a regular bathroom. A Jack and Jill, there has to be 2 toilet for it to be a Jack and Jill, which is the whole Jack and Jill. This, since it only has 1 toilet, that's just simply a shared bathroom. But I do like how it goes through to both rooms. Now, the room sizes are still really great, as you can see, big windows. And then of course, big walk-in closet. This is really pretty as well, as you can look and see who's potentially standing at your front door. This is another secondary up here, and it's just as big and has a great little closet. I really like the closet space that Shaddock gives, because sometimes you can get really small closet. And then of course the shared bath. And then on this side, this bathroom would be for your guests that were in your game room, but it's also for this bedroom. And of course, this is a very large bedroom as well. So it just kind of shows you what Shaddock can do. Okay, so now we're in the Fields, Brookside South, which is my second favorite neighborhood, and it's the neighborhood I live in. My first favorite neighborhood has always been Windsong Ranch, but we are here at Shaddock, and I want to tell you a little bit about the Fields if you haven't watched my other videos. This is it. This is the place, guys. If you can afford to live in the Fields, right? Shaddock is around $1 million. I can get them to come off that a little bit because I just have sent them so much business. So definitely contact me if you want to live in Brookside South, because I can get you a better price. But needless to say, when Fields West goes up, and they're already starting to build it, it's going to be the most amazing suburban urban environment in the entire nation. So I have a list of the stores that have already committed to Fields West, and guys, they're amazing. We've got 7th Avenue, we've got Our House, Bloomie's, Claremont, Crate and Barrel, Culinary Dropout, Designs Within Reach, Everything But Water. I mean, there's just so many. Mastro Steakhouse, Kendra Scott, La La Land. If you guys haven't been to a La La Land, it's a lot of fun. It's a little coffee shop. There's just so many. Mexican Sugar, I don't know if it's a Mexican food restaurant, and it is so good. Anyway, there are so many more that I'm not even gonna list them off because we would be here for a long time, but the ability to walk over to it or ride your golf cart, because we have trails, and then just come back to your house. They're calling this a 15-minute city, meaning that you can walk out your front door and get anything you need within 15 minutes. So that's why I'm such a big believer in Brookside South and Brookside North because of the sheer equity. They're calling it a 50-year community, that we won't see this type of equity in this short amount of time within another 50 years. So I'm gonna show you inside. These are all gonna be around, like I said, 900 to 1.1 million. But again, things are negotiable. So let's go inside and let me show you around. Okay, so we have the office. This could also be a bedroom if somebody wanted it to be a bedroom. And in some of the specs that they have left, it is a bedroom. And some of them are just dedicated offices. This one has the primary up front. And so you get a great view of the neighborhood. And then of course, a really great bathroom with double sinks, walk-in closet, soaking tub. I'm not gonna guarantee that it's gonna have a soaking tub. Some of them just have a bigger walk-in shower. Closet space. Oh, let's not forget this bathroom. So this is a bedroom, then that would be the bathroom. Otherwise, that's just your guest bathroom. So, and then you've got the double story in the living, which just makes the space feel bigger. One thing you're gonna give up in the fields in Brookside South is space. These lots are gonna be smaller and the house next to you is going to be closer to you. So you have to decide, am I willing to have a closer neighbor to get the equity that we're gonna get? Because you could live here for 3 to 5 years, take your equity and go buy your dream home. So it doesn't have to be the longest term plan, it could just be a financial plan. But totally decked out, not all of the spec houses that are included in this 4.99% will be as dolled up as this one, just because it is a model, but it shows you what's possible. And I will show you the backyard. I haven't done that on all of these yet, but because this is a smaller lot, I want you to see that you do still have a backyard. But, and the extended patio doesn't come with it, but at least you know that if you have kiddos or you have a pet, that you can let them out in the backyard. I'm here. And so laundry's here, and then typically you would go through the laundry to the garage, but that's their offices. All right, let's go upstairs. All right, so we'll go this way first. This is just 2 bedrooms, and they're going to share this bathroom. Bedrooms are gonna be a little bit on the smaller side, simply because this particular model also has a huge media room and a game room. And so the bedrooms took a little bit of a hit on that, but this is a full with nightstands and a dresser. So you can still have some good room. All right, let's go see this game room and media room. So I just think that this is such a great space because you can have your kiddos up here. You have the open media or the open, whatever you want it to be. But I like it because you can have a game playing on the television. The kiddos can be playing pool or ping pong, and it's just this space that you can kind of flow back and forth. And it just gives you a lot of creativity space of whatever you want it to be. But yet you still have this open feeling down into the living room. Quick rundown, Edgewater, Fate, Texas, anywhere in the mid 300s to mid 400s, 50-foot lots, Rockwall ISD. You've got the fields in Frisco. They're gonna be closer to 1,900,000 to 1 million. And they're obviously Frisco ISD. You've got the 40s and the 50-foot lots. The 50-foot lots are going to be closer to 1.1, 1.2 and give you a more outdoor space. The estates at Rock Hill, which are also in Frisco, going to be around 1 million, 1,000,001, and you're going to have bigger yards. You've got the Homestead in Rockwall. You've got 72-foot lots that are going to be in the 700s, and then you've got 62-foot lots which are also going to be around the 700s. You've got Devonshire in Forney, which are going to be in the high 400s, and they're 60-foot lots. Forney ISD, which is A-rated. You've got Quail Hollow in Rockwall, which is going to be in the mid 700s and up. 70-foot lots, more room. Cottages of Celina, Solterra in Mesquite. There are so many neighborhoods, so reach out and we can get you all the information you're wanting. If you're thinking about making a move into a Shaddock home, whether you want affordability, luxury, lake living, walkability, or something move-in ready with instant equity, this is the market to act in. Remember, the 4.99% fixed rate is available through January 31st. You have to close by January 31st to qualify for that interest rate. So the combination of rate, inventory, and incentives is extremely rare in 2025. I feel like we're hitting the housing lottery. I'm Tiffany and I work every single day in these communities. If you want to tour a Shaddock home, compare neighborhoods, or get the real numbers behind these incentives, reach out. Text me, call me. I've got an entire team. We want to help you get into the right home. Have a great day.